Sang-gye, choi-dhang, chok-nam-la, jang-chup-chir, Sang-gye, bar-dhu, jin-sok, how to do a retreat of the mantra of Avalokiteshvara. So the center is organizing a retreat. So actually they can you can recite long chanting prayers, but it would be not easy for Singaporeans. So I have shortened the prayer and maybe quite suitable for Singaporeans. And so I hope through this prayer we'll be able to do the retreat. And so first of all, as usual, we must cultivate our motivation. So we make the motivation again here should be bodhicitta mind, bodhicitta or body mind. So therefore we all have to at least try to generate an artificial bodhicitta mind within ourselves, which is very important. And then you must develop admiration towards bodhicitta. That is very important. That is what we can do. That is what we can do for the beginners, you know. So we must at least develop a sincere admiration towards bodhicitta. And then at this time we try to generate an artificial bodhicitta mind within ourselves. So we make a wish to attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. So in order to get generated this kind of mind, all the preliminary practices are to be done before that. So it comes stage by stage. Because you cannot jump right into the higher practices or higher stages, or you can just go to it's like even if we have elevators these days, so we have to use the elevator, and then reaching first story and second and then third, and then you can go you get to the desired stage story, right? So similarly we have to go through the different stages right from the beginning. So in order to generate bodhicitta mind, we should have a feeling of renunciation, So for that you need to feel about the suffering of samsara, and then taking refuge in three jewels, and then having understanding of cause and effect system, and develop your faith, belief in cause and effect system. And then we should have the feeling of impermanence. We must know about the impermanence. All the compositional phenomena are impermanent. So we must actually realize the impermanence of all the phenomena, which all the compositional phenomena, which includes ourselves, beings, human beings, other beings, and houses, trees, cars, and a country itself, and everything. And everything that moves, they are impermanent. So if it is permanent, then it cannot move, it cannot be changed. So everything, what we see, what we hear, what we feel, most of them, they are impermanent. So we must realize they are impermanent. We must feel they are impermanent. And then we have to know about how precious human life is, so and so forth. So having thought on all these paths, all these stages, all this mind training, and then we generate bodhicitta mind, and then we are going to listen to this retreat teaching. So we are going to do the retreat not only for ourselves, but for the sake of all sentient beings. All sentient beings in 6 realms. So I would like to do the retreat, and therefore I would like to know how to do the retreat, and that should be the motivation. So then we have prepared. This is all in Tibetan, but during the actual retreat, it's called phonetic. That text will be prepared. That text will be prepared for all the retreat, all the people who would like to do the retreat. So at the beginning, we do this 4 sentences, as I told you yesterday. Sang-gye 2 sentences. Kyab-su-chi. The first 2 sentences is taking refuge in 3 jewels. So we take refuge in 3 jewels, and in order to get that kind of conception, we have to feel that we are sort of helpless, we are sort of suffering, and we, as being in the samsara, we always face some kind of suffering, and there are some beings are facing more suffering, some beings are facing less suffering, but still every beings are suffering. So therefore we would like to take refuge. We would like to, we want to get out of this ocean of suffering, and then who can help us? Only Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, they can help us. So we must know that Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, they can help us. And if I go in their shelter, then I will definitely be protected from suffering. So therefore, I would like to take refuge in 3 jewels. And then we practice Dhamma like 6 perfections, Dhag-gi, jin-sok, gyi-pei. So the generosity, practice of generosity, practice of morality, practice of discipline, practice of whatever, patience, and so forth. There are 6 perfections, right? So we practice that and we accumulate a lot of merit. And what you are going to do by accumulating merit, then I am going to attain Buddhahood by accumulating the merit, a lot of merit, in order to help all sentient beings, for the sake of all sentient beings. This is the meaning of the last 2 sentences. So you do this 3 times. Within being mindful in the meaning of the words, you recite this verse for 3 times. And then another sentences, 4 sentences, or 8 sentences. The 2 verses, that is, again, the first 2 words is taking refuge in 3 jewels. That is, you just emphasize, you just remind, make it stable, make it powerful, you enhance the taking refuge. So therefore, again, we are reminded taking refuge in 3 jewels by these first 2 sentences. Sang-gye dhag-kyap-chi, dhag-na dhag-gi sem-kyed-dho. Then, in order to help myself as well as for all other beings, I would like to generate bodhicitta mind. So after that, chok-chu shuk-pa-yi, Sang-gye sem-pa-son. The Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas in 10 directions. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions. So what? And then the last 2 sentences is that what you are telling to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions is that I want to generate bodhicitta mind in order to attain enlightenment, Buddhahood. That is, that also generating bodhi mind and taking another one for 3 times. Okay, so so after that, then you should generate yourself into Avalokiteshvara deity. So how to do that? Then firstly, you say Om So Bhava Shiva Savatama So Bhava Shiva. There's one mantra. The Om is the head of the mantra, and then the Om has the Om in Sanskrit letter that has a big meaning. So that the letter has 2 kind of letters, A, U, Ma. So that 3 letters put together becomes Om. So that represents the body, speech, mind. So body, speech, mind of Buddhas. So therefore it is considered very powerful syllable. And then So Bhava Shuddha Savatama So Bhava Shiva. So Bhava is nature. Shuddha means pure. Sarva Dharma means all the phenomena. And another So Bhava, that is again nature. Shuddha is pure. And then Shuddha Aham means I, self, I. So Om Sabhava Shuddha Savatama Sabhava, Shuddha Aham. That meaning all the phenomena are pure or empty of their nature, And I am in that nature. I am in that nature. all the phenomena, all the phenomena are empty of their nature, empty in their nature, or pure in their nature. So it is empty of existing by their own nature. So that is the meaning. Okay. So all the phenomena, they doesn't exist by their own nature. That is the Musobha Shuddha Sawadharma. Sawadharma means all the phenomena. Okay. Then so Shuddha Aham means that I'm the nature. I'm in that nature. So you dissolve into that emptiness, and you must feel that I'm in that nature. Then I'm in that nature. Okay. So at this time you can visualize, or you can think that all the phenomena dissolve into you, including in appearance, all dissolve into you, including house and the world, country, everything dissolve in the universe actually dissolve into you. Top ones from top, bottom ones from bottom, side ones from side, everything dissolve into you. Okay, and then finally your body dissolve into the letter. You must visualize one letter whom and your heart and the whole body from the top coming downwards and from the bottom coming upwards, finally dissolve into the letter whom at your heart, and then the letter whom, and now everything is dissolved into letter whom, right? All universe is dissolved in letter whom. So what is remaining there? There's nothing, only space, empty. Only the letter whom is remaining there at the moment. And the letter whom from the bottom to top, it dissolved and disappeared slowly. And finally, the letter itself also disappeared and dissolved into emptiness. So that at that moment, to your mind, the appearance is just emptiness, nothing, right? And that emptiness nature, you are that emptiness nature. So you feel in that way. So there is also also. Tongpa-nyi-tu-chur. Tongpa-nyi-tu-chur means become emptiness, right? So how to become emptiness? Or dissolving into emptiness, as I just explained. Okay. Then out of that nature of emptiness, in that empty space, the letter of Mani Padme Hum, the 6 syllables mantra, appeared in the form of letter, but in the nature of light. Okay. And so there is Mani Padme Hum letter. You can visualize in clockwise Om Mani Padme Hum, like a ring in clockwise. And so there is radiation coming from the letter in the space, and then it gives the sound Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. So on each letter gives the sound of their own, its own letter. So it gives the sound, and it goes into all directions of the space. So the space is full of the light and the sound. Okay. And then at that moment, yourself and the deity's emptiness, your emptiness, self-emptiness and deity's emptiness are inseparable. They are in one. They actually all the emptiness of us, emptiness of self, emptiness of Buddhas, emptiness of Bodhisattvas, they all are one. There is no different. There is no difference. There is no. It is not separable. So it is in the nature of emptiness. Everything is one. So self become inseparable from deity's emptiness. Then your mind, the nature of your mind, you should visualize turn into a moon disk. And then moon disk, you can you can visualize the moon disk, this big or that big or smaller like this, but according to your convenience you should visualize. So then after visualization, the letter you should place the letter on that moon disk. So you have visualized the letter. Maybe you have visualized a huge letters, then you have to visualize a huge moon disk. Maybe you have visualized a small letter, then you can visualize it accordingly and then place the letters on that moon disk. Okay, full moon disk. And then the letters are in white color. Like here it says like that what do you call the lead metal. Like and there's a sort of liquid or not absolutely liquid, but it is a little bit liquid and metal. So if you put the metal in sand, so that will somehow stay on the sand. So similarly, you should visualize that letters are placed on your moon disk in the space. And the moon disk is in the nature of your mind. And then that transforms, that moon disk and the letter transforms into lotus flower. It's a yellow lotus flower, yellow like golden color, golden colored what do you call it, golden colored lotus, and 1,000 petals, with 1,000 petals, and at the middle of that lotus you should visualize again Om Mani Padme Hum, and then moon disk. There's one moon disk, and then lotus, and then the mantra. So a lot of radiation and radiant light comes from all these three things, moon disk and the lotus and the mantra. The radiant light goes into all directions. From the tip of the radiant light, you sent numerous number of Avalokiteshvara, the 4 Avalokiteshvara, and all the space is filled with the 4 Avalokiteshvara. So some Avalokiteshvara big ones, some Avalokiteshvara middle ones, some middle size, some Avalokiteshvara are small size. So anyway, the space up and down, every sides, everywhere is filled with the Avalokiteshvaras. And then from that nature and the lotus, again you manifest a lot of offerings, flowers, food, and whatever you like, you can imagine. So you should imagine a huge amount of offerings. Offerings, what you like, you can imagine. Normally flowers, and then good food, and cakes, and if you like coffee, you can also imagine coffee. If you like cheesecake, you can also imagine cheesecake. In my case, I like that. And then fruits, apples are considered very good fruit. Apples and oranges. For Chinese, oranges, you can. The space can be filled with oranges, orange trees, and orange fruits. So the whole space is filled with the oranges. New Year is coming soon, so orange is very important. So you can make offering of oranges. So you visualize that the space is filled with offering. Now, earlier you have visualized the Avalokiteshvara, four of the Avalokiteshvara, that the space is filled, right? So now you are visualizing offering, that is again space filled. So sometimes you may think, I have already, the space is already filled with the Avalokiteshvara. Now where to put the offerings? There is no space, So that also comes in our mind. That in the nature of emptiness, it doesn't take each other's place. So Avalokiteshvara are there, but at the same time you can keep the offerings are also there. There's no problem. So in the nature of emptiness, everything is possible. Everything is possible. You know that Milarepa and his main disciple Rechungpa, they were together once. So Milarepa is already enlightened then. And then there was a hailstorm. So they were looking for shelter from hailstorm. And then after a moment, the Rechungpa, the disciple, lost his master, Milarepa. He was looking for his master. Where is my master? And then he saw a yak horn, yak horn. They're quite big, but not so big. It's like this big, this big. So Milarepa was right in the horn, sitting as a shelter. And then he looked at from the other side, the root side, and the tip is very pointed, not very pointed, but slightly pointed. Yeah, horns are like this. So he looked at, and the Milarepa was right in the corner of that tip of that horn, and then they say Milarepa was there with light. But what is surprising is that the yak horn has become bigger. Yak horn is in its own size. But Milarepa didn't become smaller. Milarepa himself is also in his own size, the human size. But it is still in the horn. That is called inconceivable. So he was enlightened, so everything is possible. So in the nature of emptiness, everything is possible. So it doesn't take each other's place. So you can visualize, there is no problem. Okay? So then you make offerings, whatever you like, golden, money, dollars, or whatever you like, then you make offerings. And then normally I suggest that which you don't like, you don't offer, because it doesn't make any difference for the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, but it makes it, because since we haven't abandoned the delusions and inflections, so we have the problem. So you can offer what you like.